Hi friends, welcome back to new session. In the last session, I think we explained EMF equation of a transformer and angle between different vectors which are necessary to understand for understanding vector diagram of a transformer. Okay. So if you observe clearly, EMF equation of transformer, if you see in the last video, what was the conclusion? We got E1 RMS equals to 4.44 N1 pi m into F. E2 RMS equals to 4.44 N2 pi m into F. And I had given some conclusions. I think first conclusion, E1 comma E2 are RMS phase values. Second conclusion, flux used in EMF equation of transformer is maximum value of flux or peak value of flux. And if you see E1 by N1 equals to E2 by N2, that relation we got. So from that means what is the meaning for that? E1 by N1 equals to E2 by N2 means what? Induced EMF per turn in the primary side is equal to induced EMF per turn in secondary side. So E1 by N1 equals to E2 by N2 equals to K. So where K means transformation ratio. I told we are having two formulas we are getting for transformation ratio. But I asked you to remember one formula, nothing but K equal to E2 by E1, N2 by N1. Nothing but what about turns ratio A equal to N1 by N2 equal to 1 by K. And if you see relations between angle between different vectors, if you see angle between supply voltage V1 and IMU equal to 90 degrees. IMU and angle between IMU and pi is 0 degrees. Angle between pi and E1 90 degrees because of Lenz law. Angle between pi and E2 once again 90 degrees because of Lenz law. Angle between E1 and E2 0 degrees. Angle between V1 and E1 180 degrees. Angle between V1 and E2 180 degrees. And angle between V1 and IW I said in phase. And I had given value of IMU also 4 to 5% of full load current. And I had given value for IW also 1 to 2% of full load current. I0 is a vector sum of IMU and IW. I0 value 5 to 6% of full load current. So what is the name I had given for I0? Exciting current of transformer. Like that I had given some conclusions in the previous video. That is very important, guys. If you understand those things only, we can follow or in future lectures. Okay, future lectures. All right. Now see, in this video we are going to, with that knowledge, I am just going to start vector diagrams of transformer. For drawing vector diagram of a transformer, first of all let me have a equivalent circuit of transformer. First of all I will discuss equivalent circuit of transformer under load condition. I will draw vector diagram for that. Then I will go for equivalent circuit of transformer load condition. Then I will draw vector diagram of transformer under load condition. Okay. So first one, let me start with equivalent circuit of transformer under no load condition. Equivalent circuit of transformer under no load condition. Under no load condition. Yes. Okay. So guys, first of all let me take applied voltage source V1. V1 is applied voltage source. Okay. And here is what winding which is connected to the source is nothing but which winding? Primary winding. Okay. And winding which is connected to the load is nothing but secondary winding, but we are discussing under no load condition, no. So let me don't apply any load, to the secondary. Okay. And between this primary and secondary, primary winding and secondary winding are magnetically coupled through transformer core. And let me take number of turns in primary winding N1, number of turns secondary winding N2. See guys, here one thing you have to understand. So let me draw transformer core in the form of electrical. Okay, nothing but let me represent a transformer core electrically like this. See, this is what I can say, electrical representation of transformer core. Electrical representation of transformer core. Those who are having doubt, you please try to refer last video, there will be having some clarity. because I told to magnetize the transformer core, initially I need I mu current. Magnetizing current is used to magnetize the transformer core. That means I mu is a term related to transformer core, and I mu is the current flowing through X naught branch. X naught means what here? Magnetizing reactance of transformer. Next, IW is used to represent core losses in transformer. That I am just going to justify in this video only. Why IW is used to represent core losses or iron losses, that I am just going to discuss in this video only. Please wait. Okay. Since IW is used to represent core losses or iron losses, to represent losses, so definitely I need to take one dissipating element that I had taken here resistance a parameter here. Okay. So obviously guys, vector sum of I mu and IW gives you what here? I naught. And from this, it is V1 means what? Applied, I can say V1 means what? Applied voltage. Okay. And see guys, this is what? Induced EMF in primary winding. Let me take it as E1. And induced in secondary winding, let me take it as E2. You know, working means of transformer. Whenever time variant voltage is connected to the transformer, okay, initially it will take some current I mu I told to magnetize the transformer core. Okay, that's okay. And let me try it here simply. This is nothing but I1 actually. How we are getting I1, all those things will come. Okay, in the next in future videos. I1 is nothing but it's a vector sum of I naught and I2 dash, guys. I2 dash. What about this I2 dash? All those things. Though there is no need to confuse. Everything I'll be explaining clearly. Just for time being, let us assume that V1 is nothing but applied voltage source. E1 means primary induced EMF. I1 means primary winding current. It's a vector sum of I naught and I2 dash. Okay. So I2 dash formula means I can say minus I2 into K. I2 into K. I2 means here secondary current, or I can say load current. Here, since it is under no load condition, I2 value becomes how much here? 0. Therefore, this value also becomes 0. There is no need to confuse. How I2 dash is equals to minus I2 into K. How I1 bar equals to I naught bar plus I2 dash bar. All those things I will be explaining clearly. There is no need to confuse. There is no need to worry. Okay. Please remember. Here, I naught is a current flowing through transformer core. It is a vector sum of I mu and IW. I mu is used to magnetize the transformer core. IW is used to represent core losses. That's why this R naught, X naught, nothing but shunt branch parameters. I already told in the previous video. This is nothing but electrical representation of what? Electrical representation of what? Transformer core. Okay, right. Next guys. See here, this is a equivalent circuit of transformer and no load condition. Now with this knowledge, let me draw vector diagram of transformer. Vector diagram of transformer. Vector diagram of transformer under no load condition. Okay. See, some people may get one doubt by seeing above circuit diagram. What is that? See, they may get one doubt. Sir, why you are showing this transformer core electrical in the primary side only, this side only? Why I am not showing this branch in this side? Like that, people will get one doubt. Very simple guys. You please try to assume, suppose one transformer is there. To this transformer, primary winding is this one, secondary winding is this one. So I just connect some voltage source to this primary winding. Secondary winding, there is no load connected to the secondary winding. Okay, no load connected to the secondary winding. Okay, when under no load condition, what is the current drawn by the transformer? It's a simple logic, nothing but I naught only, because this I2 dash is 0, no, I naught only. So current drawn by the transformer under no load condition is nothing but what I can say? I naught. Okay, so that means there is no current to the load. That means whatever that I naught is there, that I naught has to bypass the primary winding itself. Primary winding, secondary winding, here load. There is no load current here. Now whatever the current drawn by the transformer I naught, that will be taken bypass through the primary winding itself. That's why I am just showing this transformer core in a primary side only, not in secondary side. And one more doubt you will get. Sir, why you are showing R naught come X naught in parallel, sir? Why R naught come X naught I did not show in series? Very simple. So in transformer core, to magnetize the transformer core, I need IMU current. To show core losses, I need IW. Those two currents are different. IMU is 4 to 5% of full load current. IW is 1 to 2% of full load current. IMU is very larger than IW. So obviously, if you want to show two currents, that should be in parallel only. That should not be in series. If I show in series, IMU and IW will become equal. That is not correct. Therefore, that should be in parallel, and that the electrical representation of transformer core should be in the primary side only. Okay, no problem. Next, guys. Now let me draw a vector diagram. Okay, so tell me, guys. Initially, you connected a time variant voltage source to the primary winding of transformer. Okay, let me show V1 is the voltage source connected to the transformer. Let me take V1 is the time variant voltage source connected to the transformer. Please, previous video is very important for understanding the present video lecture, because I had given angle between different vectors in the previous video only. Without watching that video, if you come and watch this video, it is not possible to understand, because in the previous video I told, example let me take, what is the angle between V1 and IMU? 90 degrees. That I explained in the previous video. You should understand that. Okay, IMU lags V1 by 90 degrees. Therefore, whenever V1 I just drawn is a reference for us. With respect to V1, IMU lags V1 by 90 degrees. Yes, V1 lags, IMU lags V1 by how much angle? How much? 90 degrees. Yes or no? So next, what is because of IMU, whenever voltage source is connected to the transformer, it will take IMU current. Why it will take IMU current? To magnetize the transformer core. So tell me, what is the angle between IMU and flux? In phase. IMU and flux will be in phase. Yes, it will be in phase. Next, one more thing I told. In transformer core, to represent losses, I need IW current. So that why I can say that IW is used to represent core losses, iron losses. That will be justified in this video. Just for time being, in the last video I told, what is the angle between V1 and IW? In phase. In phase. See? In phase. That too, guys, please try to understand. Among IMU and IW, which one is more? That I had given clearly as a note. If you observe clearly, you can understand. IMU is 4 to 5% of full load current. IW is 1 to 2% of full load current. So obviously IMU is more than IW. That's why I am just showing IMU value more, IW less value. Okay. Tell me, vector sum of this IMU and IW gives you what? Vector sum of IMU and IW gives you what here? I naught. I told already. Vector sum of IMU and IW is nothing but what I can say? I naught. Is it clear, guys? Now, angle between V1 and I naught is nothing but what? Angle between V1 and I naught is nothing but I can say pi naught. So what is the name I can give this for? I can give for this pi naught. I can write here. Pi naught is nothing but no load power factor angle of transformer. No load power factor angle of transformer. Okay, it will be around pi naught is around 70 to 75 degrees. So I should write here lag. Why I should write lag here? Can you please tell me? Pi naught will be around 70 to 75 degrees lag. Why? Because angle between V1 and I naught is pi naught. I naught lags V1 by pi naught. That's the reason why I can write here pi naught equal to 70 to 75 degrees lag. Okay. And tell me, guys, no load power factor of the transformer. No load power factor of transformer. Okay. Cos pi naught will be around how much? 0.2 lag. No load power factor of a transformer is around 0.2 lakh. Here let me ask one simple question, guys. Let me ask one simple question. Okay, why no load power factor transformer is very less? See, 0.2 means very less, no? Tell me what is the reason why no load power factor of transformer is very less, 0.2 lakh? Can you please tell me? Very simple. Cos pi naught less means pi naught value is more. Pi naught value is more. Yes or no? Why pi naught value is more? Please try to see this vector diagram. I can try to understand why pi naught value is more. Very simple. See, this angle between V1 and I naught is only pi naught, no? Suppose I naught is coming this side, it is coming towards, I naught is coming towards I mu, I can say. That's the reason pi naught angle is increasing. Is it clear? Suppose if I want better power factor, means cos pi naught should be more, means pi naught should be less. Pi naught less means this vector I naught vector has to come here. I naught vector has to come towards V1. That will be possible if I mu is less. If I mu is less, yes or no? That means indirectly why no load power factor of transformer is very less means because of larger I mu value. Very simple question. Very simple answer. Okay. Because of larger I mu, since I mu vector is more, vector sum of IW and I mu, you are getting I naught, it is coming towards, this vector, towards this, I can say I mu. Okay, that's the reason pi naught increasing. That's the reason no load power factor is reducing. If suppose I mu is less, this I naught might have come here. At that time, pi naught might have reduced. So cos pi naught may be increased. Yes or no? Therefore, why no load power factor of a transformer is less? Due to larger I mu value. That's it. Okay, that's a very important previous question. So let me write as a note. Yeah, I can write like this. No load power factor of transformer. No load power factor of a transformer. No load power factor of a transformer is less due to larger I mu value. Due to larger I mu value. Is it clear, guys? This note is very important. And this value also very important. Cos pi naught will be around 0.2 lakh. Okay, let me proceed. Okay, now tell me, guys. So according to Lenz's law, in the previous we are told what is the angle between pi and E1? 90 degrees. That too E1 lags pi by 90 degrees. No. So this is the pi vector. After 90 degrees means your E1 will be here, and because of same flux pi, you will get secondary EMF also, nothing but E2 also. Okay, so E2 also lags flux by 90 degrees. You may get one doubt, sir, why you are showing E1 E2? E1, why you are showing E2 is more than E1? I am assuming it's very simple. Suppose if I assume step up transformer, E2 will be greater than E1. Suppose if you step down transformer, E2 will be here, E1 will be here. That's it. Okay, I am assuming it as a step up transformer. I'm assuming it as a step up transformer. That's the reason why I am showing magnitude of E2 is more than magnitude of E1. Okay, now guys, right, next. So this is what I can say. Now see, if it is E1 vector, guys, if it is E1, what might be this vector? Minus E1. Is it clear? Therefore see, if it is E1, this is minus E1 vector. Okay, already you know all those things. V1 bar equals minus E1 bar, you know. Okay, being angle between V1 and E1 180 degrees, yes, you know. Angle between V1 and E1 180 degrees. Angle between V1 and E2 180 degrees. Angle between E1 and E2 0. Angle between IW and V1 0. Angle between IMU and V1 90 degrees. Angle between IMU and pi 0. All those things we explained in the previous video. That simply I am just representing all those things in a vector point of view. Okay, right. This is like a vector diagram of transformer under a no load condition. Okay. Now here I am just going to give one more thing. Excuse me. Yeah. Here, guys, let me have some relations here. It will be useful for us in future. See, if you take this triangle, guys. If you take this triangle. Yes, if you take this triangle, tell me, let me apply a cos pi naught cos pi naught equal to what? So cos pi naught, see, to this pi naught opposite side means this one, okay, so adjacent means this one, hypotenuse means I naught, cos pi naught means what? Adjacent by hypotenuse. Adjacent means this vector, no, IW divided by hypotenuse means what? I naught. That implies, tell me guys, what is the value of IW? I naught cos pi naught. Very good. Similarly, apply sin pi naught here. Sin pi naught is equals to how much? Opposite side. Sin pi naught means what? Opposite side by hypotenuse. For this triangle, opposite side means what? To this angle, opposite this one, right? This vector. This vector means what here? This vector only, no? I mu. I mu divided by I naught. That implies I mu is equals to what? I naught sin pi naught. I naught sin pi naught. And IW is equals to I naught cos pi naught. So these relations are important. Please try to remember. Okay. Right? Next, from this you can write like this also. What is the formula for R naught? You can write here R naught I am asking. So this one also will be useful for us in future. R naught equal to what guys? R naught branch means core loss resistance of transformer. I had given nomenclature in the past in the previous video. Okay, R naught equals to V1 by IW. V1 by IW, nothing but V1 by IW means I naught cos pi naught. Okay, similarly x naught, please tell me what is the value of x naught guys? X naught I am asking. X naught value I am asking. V1 by I mu. V1 by I mu, nothing but V1 by I mu means what? I naught sin pi naught. Okay, so these are the formulas for R naught comma x naught. Similarly, can you please tell what is the formula for Z naught guys? I am asking formula for Z naught. Z naught means what? R naught in parallel with Jx naught. So what is the name I had given for this Z naught? Before that, please tell me what is the name I had given for this X naught guys? Magnetizing reactance of transformer. R naught means core loss resistance of transformer. X naught means magnetizing reactance of transformer. Z naught means what? Magnetizing impedance of transformer. So magnetizing impedance of transformer Z naught equals to what? V1 by, tell me what is the current flowing through this parallel combination, total current I naught. So Z naught equals to V naught by, or I can say V1 or I can say V naught, whatever, it's your wish. So simply it's nothing but no load voltage, okay? V1 by I naught. V1 by naught, okay? So R naught formula, X naught formula, Z naught formula, and IW formula, I mu formula, important. Next guys, tell me, I'm asking a question. Yeah. Power taken by transformer, power taken by transformer under no load condition. I'm asking. Power taken by transformer under no load condition is equal to, under no load condition. Tell me what is the formula you can give? Always we will give a active power to this transformer. That means transformer transfers active power. Active power, okay? Active power I can say real power. Nothing but P. P means what? Vi cos pi. So power taken the transformer under no load condition means what is the applied voltage source? V1. Tell me what is the current drawn by the transformer under no load condition? Simple, it's a 0, right? No load condition 0. I2 0 means I2 dash also becomes 0. So only what is the total current? I can say I naught only. Yes or no? Because I1 bar equal to, I can say I naught bar plus I2 dash bar. Don't worry, I'll tell you how you got this relation, all those things in future, okay? Since I2 dash is 0, I1 equals I naught only. So generally formula V1 I1 cos pi. V1 I1 nothing but I naught only because I2 dash is 0 here. V1 I naught cos pi naught. Okay, right. This is equal to V1. Tell me what is the formula I already given for I naught cos pi naught? I naught cos pi naught means what here? IW. Now tell me, I am asking one simple question. Here only I am just going to justify whatever I had told in the previous video. IW is used to represent core losses, iron losses. For that I am just going to give justification here. Okay, so let me give justification. Before that, let me ask one question. In transformer guys, majorly we are having two losses. I can say copper losses and I can say iron losses. So what is the other name for copper losses? Ohmic losses. What is the other name for iron losses? Core losses, which we will discuss in the last topic. No, don't worry. So I am asking now, power taken by the transformer under no load condition. Okay, equal to I am getting V1 IW. You tell me guys, if transformer is there, if there is no load at the secondary, whatever the power taken by the transformer is equal to what? Losses. Since there is no load, whatever the power taken by the transformer, that is nothing but losses only. Tell me what are the losses we are having generally? Major, I am asking major losses, copper loss and iron losses. Okay, let me write here. Okay, iron losses. What is the other name for iron losses? Iron losses are core losses plus copper losses. See, among these two, it will come in future, guys. There is no need to confuse. Copper losses depends on load current. Iron losses independent of load current. Copper loss depends on load current. Iron loss independent of load current. Iron loss depends on applied voltage. Okay, this will come in future. There is no need to confuse. You just remember, copper loss depends on load current. Iron loss is independent of load current. Iron loss depends on applied voltage. Okay, as of now. Okay. Now, since we are discussing about under no load condition, copper losses means, since copper losses are depending on load current, I should write here no load copper losses. No load copper losses means what? I can say generally copper loss means what formula? I square R. I can say I naught square R. I already told you guys what is the value of for I naught I had given 5 to 6% of full load current. It's very less. If I neglect no load copper losses, power taken by the transformer under no load conditions approximately equals to what I can say? Iron losses or core losses. I think some people may get one doubt. So can I neglect iron losses also? No. Why? I told you iron losses depends on applied voltage, not on load current. Here applied voltage is V1, it is not less. Okay. Whereas the load current, I can say current is less. Therefore I can neglect copper losses, but I cannot neglect iron losses. Okay. Right. So now please try to observe these two guys, these two equations, this and this, and please observe, compare this and this. Okay, tell me, power taken by transformer and load condition equals to, you are saying V1 IW. Okay, V1 IW you said. V1 IW you are saying. Very good. That is approximately equal to how much you said iron loss or core losses you are saying. That means indirectly IW is used to represent which losses? Iron loss or core losses. Okay, this is the thing only I told in the previous video. Okay, let me write here. Therefore IW is used to represent which losses? IW is used to represent iron, or I can say core losses. Is it clear? Very important. This I think in the last video I had given, but this is justification for that. Is it clear, guys? See, this is the equivalent circuit of transformer no load condition, vector diagram of transformer no load condition. So among these things, which one is very important? This is electrical representation of transformer core. Okay, this point is important. Next, what is the no load power factor of transformer? It's around 0.2 lakh. Important. Why no load power factor of transformer is less? Due to larger value of I mu, and formula for IW I naught cos pi naught, formula for I mu I naught sin pi naught. Okay, and power taken by the transformer on no load condition equals to approximately equals to iron loss or core losses. If you compare these two equations, V1 IW and iron losses, IW is used to represent I can say iron or core loss, like that we can say. Okay, so please after this, just note down this one. After this, we are going to explain equivalent circuit of transformer under load condition, vector diagram of transformer under load condition. Is it clear? Right. You please press pause button and just note on all those things. Then I will be proceeding with equivalent circuit of transform under load condition, vector diagram of transform under load condition. Okay, right. Now let me do modification here only. Under which condition I said? You please try to see this one. Equivalent circuit of transform under no load condition completed. Okay, vector diagram of transform under no load condition completed. I am just going to discuss equivalent circuit under load condition and vector diagram under load condition. So before that, let me modify this heading. Equivalent circuit of transformer under loaded condition. Under loaded condition. Since I am writing under load condition, please let me connect some load here. Let me connect some load here. Okay. This is nothing but I can say load. And load voltage, let me take it as V2. Now load current, it is not zero now. It is not zero. And these I2 is also not zero now. Okay. This becomes equivalent circuit of transformer under load condition. Now, let me draw vector diagram of transformer under what I said? Under loaded condition. Under loaded condition. Under loaded condition. Under loaded condition. Okay. Right. So see guys, I think you know all those things. I think I already you just you noted down. Okay. I'm just going to erase this portion. Yeah. I think up to now okay. See, let me connect some voltages V1. After 90 degrees, you'll get I mu. Because of I mu, you'll get some flux in transformer core. Therefore, I mu and flux will be in phase. And IW is used to represent the core losses in the transformer. So IW is the current flowing through R0. Okay, this R0 branch is connected across V1. So IW and V1 will be in phase. So let me show IW in phase with V1. That too among I mu and IW, I mu is more, whereas IW is less. Vector sum of I mu and IW gives you what here? Vector sum of I mu and IW gives you what? I0. Okay. Because of pi, you will get induced EMF in the primary winding E1 because of Lenz law. Because of pi, you will get induced EMF secondary winding E2 once again because of Lenz law. Okay. Now, please tell me guys, ideally I am saying what you can write. What is the relation between V1 and E1? Ideally in primary side. This we already explained clearly in detail in Lenz law topic. One topic is there clearly explained. There I wrote ideally we can write V1 bar equals to minus E1 bar is the relation I can write in primary side. In secondary side guys, E2 bar equals to what I said, V2 bar. Don't write minus symbol here. For that reason, I already given in Lenz law topic. Please try to refer that. Okay. Now, V1 bar this is E1 and this becomes minus E1. Okay. And what about E2 vector means this vector that will be equal to what now? V2 vector. Okay. V1 bar equal to minus E1 bar. E2 bar equals to V2 bar. And here it is E1 bar. Okay. Now, guys, please tell me. Yeah. Now, let me draw, we are drawing vector diagram for transformer, vector diagram of transformer under load condition. Vector diagram of transformer under load condition. Load condition means definitely here load is there. So, we are having different type of loads like lag loads, lead loads are there. So, let me take lag load first of all. I am just drawing vector diagram for which loads? Lag loads. I simply represented here lag loads guys. Please try to see. I have taken here lag loads. Okay. Lag loads means your load current I2 lags load voltage by some angle pi 2. Okay, let me indicate that portion here. I2 current lags V2. I2 current, yes, I2 current lags V2 by how much angle guys? By how much angle? Pi 2. Here there is no need to confuse with the nomenclature. Pi naught means what? No load power factor angle of transformer. Pi 2 means what? Secondary power factor angle of transformer. Secondary power factor angle of transformer, or you can say load power factor angle of transformer, because we connect load at the secondary winding only. Okay, right. Suppose guys, if I refer E2 towards this side, okay, if I refer E2, if I refer I2 this side, I'm saying, sorry, if I refer I2 this side, this becomes what? If I refer I2 towards this side, becomes what? I2 dash. Okay, now angle between V1 and I2 dash is about what? Pi 2 dash, which is equal to what? Pi 2. Is it clear? See, this angle and this angle same, no? Okay, so angle between I2 lags E2 by angle of I2 lags V2 by angle of pi 2. If I refer I2 towards this side, becomes I2 dash. Angle between V1 and I2 dash is pi 2 dash, which is equal to pi 2. Okay, now tell me guys, vector sum of, okay, vector sum of, okay, I0 bar and I2 dash bar gives you what? I1. I got I0, I already got I0 vector, and you know I2 dash also. Let me have vector sum of this I0 and I2 dash. To this I0 guys, to this I0 let me add I2 dash. To this I0 let me add I2 dash. This is nothing but I2 dash vector. Okay, and or to this I2 dash let me add I0. Let me add I0. Let me add I0 vector. This is nothing but I0 vector. Let me extend this I2 dash, so it will get vector neatly. Okay, right, I2 dash. And vector sum of I0 and I2 dash, or I can say I2 dash and I0 gives you what here? I1. Let me draw I1 vector, which is vector sum of I0 and I2 dash. Okay. So angle between V1 and I1 is nothing but what I can say? Between V1 and I am saying I1. Nothing but what? Pi 1. See, there is nothing to confuse here. Very simple diagram only, but seems to be difficult. Very simple. First of all, see, while drawing vector diagram also, please try to remember working principle of transformer, so that you can draw neatly. First of all, let me connect voltage as V1. Yes. See, if you want, I can explain once again. Let me connect voltage as V1. Yes, connect V1 voltage source. Because of that, it will take some current I mu. Yes, it had taken I mu to magnetize the transformer core. I mu and flux will be in phase. Okay. IW will be in phase with V1, because IW is used to represent core losses. So across this R0, V1 is the voltage. So therefore, IW will be in phase with the V1. Okay. Vector sum of I mu and IW gives you I0. Okay. And because of pi, you will get induced EMF secondary in primary winding E1, because of Lenz law it will get 90 degrees. E1 lags flux by 90 degrees because of Lenz law. Okay. E2 lags flux by once again 90 degrees because of Lenz law. Okay. Next, if it is E1, this side becomes minus E1. Okay. Therefore, V1 bar equals minus E1 bar, ideal in primary side, and in secondary side E2 bar equals V2 bar. Yes, E2 bar equals V2 bar only. Is it clear? Now, I am just drawing vector diagram for transformer under load condition. Let me take lag loads here. Lag loads means load current lags load voltage by some angle. If it is a pure lag load, if it is a pure inductive load, I2 lags V2 by 90 degrees. If it is if it is RL load, so I2 lags V2 by an angle of something pi 2. So I am assuming here, I am assuming load here, it's nothing but it's not pure lag load. It's a combination of resistor plus inductor, nothing but RL load I am assuming. That's why I2 lags V2 by an angle of pi 2 only I had taken. Okay. If I refer I2 towards this side, this I2 also completed, no? Yeah. If I refer this I2 towards this side, becomes I2 dash. Okay. See, here between V2 and I2 it's a pi 2. Between V1 and I2 dash is a pi 2 dash. Pi 2 dash is equals to pi 2 only. And vector sum of I0, already you know. To this I0, let me add I2 dash vector, you'll get I1. Or to this I2 dash vector, let me add I0, you'll get once again I1. Okay. Like this, you please try to follow in systematic way, so that vector diagram becomes very easy for you. Okay. Right. Now, please, yeah, let me erase this tick marks. otherwise we'll be having some confusion. Okay, right. Right, guys. Here let me ask one simple question here. Okay, first let me write one small note here. Let me write one small note. Okay, so please try to observe a vector diagram and tell me answer for my question. I am asking a simple question. If you see this diagram, guys, can I say primary power factor angle pi 1, secondary power factor angle pi 2 are equal here? Can I say pi 1 and pi 2 equal? No. See, this is pi 1 means what? From here to here. This is what I can say pi 1. Nothing but a black color. Pi 1 means from V1 to angle between V1 and I1. It's about pi 1. Pi 2 means what? Which is equal to pi 2 dash. This is angle between V1 and I2 dash. This is this portion, this red color. So pi 1 is not equal to pi 2 here. Don't confuse. If you want, I can write that names also here. There is no need to confuse. Pi 1 means what? Pi 1 means what? Primary power factor angle. Primary power factor angle. And what about pi 2? Secondary power factor angle. Secondary power factor angle. And what is the name I can give for this pi naught? No load power factor angle of transformer. Here also you can write primary power factor angle of transformer. Here also secondary power factor angle of transformer. This is a nomenclature. Okay, this is a nomenclature for this pi 1, pi 2 and pi naught. Okay. Here I am asking a simple question. Note 1. I am asking question. Note 1. Please tell me. From this vector diagram, can you please tell me pi 1 and pi 2 are equal? No. Why pi 1 and pi 2 are not equal? That is my question. See, pi 1 and pi 2 are not equal here. Obviously. Tell me what is the reason why pi 1 and pi 2 are not equal. Or I can ask question like this. When pi 1 and pi 2 will be equal? When pi 1 comma pi 2 will be equal? Very simple thing. See, you know guys, I1 bar equal to, you said, I0 bar plus I2 dash bar, no. Suppose if you neglect I0 current, at that time I1 is nothing but what? I2 dash only, no. That means here in place of I2 dash I can write I1. And at that time angle between V1 and I1 means what? This portion becomes what? Pi 1, which is equal to pi 2. So now tell me, when primary power factor angle pi 1 will be equal to pi 2, when I2 dash equals to I1. When I2 dash will be equal to I1, when I0 is neglected. That's it. So simply I can write here one small note. Primary power factor angle pi 1, secondary power factor angle pi 2 are not equal due to I0. That's it. Due to I0. So let me write that point here. Note 1. Primary power factor angle pi 1. Here already I had given nomenclature, no? Directly I will write. Pi 1 is not equal to pi 2. What is the reason? Pi 1 is not equal to pi 2 due to I0. That is, if I0 equal to 0, then I can say I1 bar equal to, I2 dash, pi 1 will be equal to pi 2. So that is the conclusion. Okay, that is a note 1. Next, note 2, guys. Note 2 I am asking. Let me ask note 2. Right. See, this is a vector diagram for transformer having lag loads. Let me write here. For a transformer having lag load, having lag load, for a transformer having lag load, if secondary power factor reduces, then primary power factor dash, dash. Tell me answer. Secondary power factor means what, guys? Cos pi 2, no? Okay. Primary power factor means what? Cos pi 1. I am asking question here for a transformer having lag loads, means this is a figure only we have to use. Okay, so I am asking here, if a secondary, for a transformer having lag loads, if secondary power factor reduces, see, cos pi 2 reduces means pi 2 increases only, no? Pi 2 increases means what? This angle between I2 and V2 only pi 2. Pi 2 increases means this I2 will come somewhere here. I2 will come somewhere here. Okay, this I2 dash will come somewhere here. Yes or no? Then I1 will come somewhere here. And angle between V1 and I1, whatever pi 1 is there, that will increase or decrease? It will increase, no? Previously it is here. Now between V1 and I1, so definitely pi 1 will increase. So pi 1 will increase. What happens to cos pi 1? Will reduce. Is it clear? So if secondary power factor reduces, means pi 2 increases. So this I2 dash will come here. And vector sum of I2 dash and I naught, this I1 will come somewhere here. So this angle between V1 and I1, pi 1 increases, cos pi 1 reduces. So answer, then primary power factor reduces. This is the answer for this question. Okay guys, next let me ask one more note. Yeah, same question I am asking for lead loads. Okay, for lead loads I am asking note 3. For a transformer having lead load, comma, if secondary power factor reduces, then primary power factor dash. Tell me answer to this question. So I think I had given explanation for lag loads. Now I am asking for lead loads. Please tell me. Okay. So please, before that, I'll be using vector diagram once again, but I'll be taking lead loads and I'll explain. Then I'll give answer. So please, before that, please try to press pause button and just try to note down all those things. I'm just going to erase all those things. I'm just going to draw vector diagram of transformer under load condition only, but I'll take lead loads here for answering this question. Okay, right. Tell me guys, for lead loads I am asking, for lead loads I have taken. Okay, so once same, there is nothing changed. Please, only thing is here, instead of drawing I2 lags V2, you will draw I2 leads V2. That's it. Okay, please tell me. First of all guys, let me take V1 is a voltage source connected to the transformer. Okay, V1 is the reference for us. Tell me, after V1 what you are going to draw? I mu lags V1 by 90 degrees. Yes, this is what I can say. I mu lags V1 by 90 degrees. And because of I mu you will get flux in transformer core. So I mu and flux will be in phase. And because of one more thing, because of you have to show core loss in transformer. For that I will be using IW. So IW will be in phase with V1. This already explained. Please try to refer. Next, vector sum of IW and I mu gives you what? I naught. Vector sum of I mu and IW gives you what here? I naught. This is what I can say, I naught. Okay. Now according to Lenz's law, E1 lags flux by how much? 90 degrees. And one more thing I told, if I take a step up transformer here, if I assume it as a step up transformer, where E2 is greater than E1, so I can write here E2 is this portion, E2 is this one. And tell me guys, ideally I told in primary side V1 bar equal to minus E1 bar. If it is E1, this becomes minus E1 bar, and is nothing but E1 bar, so E2 bar. So in secondary side, I think I already wrote E2 bar equal to what, guys? V2 bar. Now please let me draw vector diagram for lead loads. Lead loads means secondary current, or I can say load current I2 leads V2 by angle pi 2. Okay, so let me, instead of writing I2 lags V2, I just wrote here I2 leads V2 by how much angle? Please tell me how much? Pi 2. Simply for lag loads I have taken I2 lags V2, but lead loads I2 leads, this is nothing but V2, guys. This is nothing but V2, okay? Right, V2 bar. If I refer this I2 towards this side, it should be exactly 180 degrees, okay? Yeah. Yes, I2 leads V2 by how much angle I said? Pi 2. If I refer this I2 toward this side, it becomes what? I2 dash. So just try to remember I2 and I2 dash should be 180 degrees apart. That you should know, because I am just referring, therefore you should maintain 180 degrees, okay? Right. Next, guys. Yeah. Now please tell me, I1 bar means what I said here. I1 bar means I0 bar plus I2 dash bar. Okay. So let me add vector sum of I0 and I2 dash gives you I1. So here I0 is there. To this let me add I2 dash here. Let me use same color here. To this I0 let me add I2 dash like this. This is what I can say. I2 dash vector. Or to this I2 dash let me add I0 vector like this. This is nothing but I0 vector, okay? And vector sum of this I0 and I2 dash, or I can say I2 dash and I0 is nothing but what here? I1. So this is what I can say I1 vector. Angle between this V1 and I1 is nothing but what I can say pi 1. Okay, is there any doubt? So please, very simple thing, there is no need to confuse. Okay, right. Now let me, by using this vector diagram, now I think you can answer this question. Tell me, for a transformer, what I said, you're having lead loads. Yes, I just drawn vector diagram for lead loads only. Next, if secondary power factor reduces, tell me guys, secondary power factor reduces means, guys, cos pi 2 reduces means what? Pi 2 increases. Very good, pi 2 increases. See, pi 2 increases means, you tell me guys, this I2 vector, angle between I2 and V2 increases means this I2 will come somewhere here. So for that I2 dash will come somewhere here. Vector sum of I2 dash and I0, this I1 whatever it is coming somewhere here. You tell me now, whenever secondary power reduces, cos pi reduces, pi 2 increases, that means I2 is coming here, I2 dash is coming here, I1 is coming this side. Angle between V1 and I1, previously it is pi 1, now it is here, no? Angle is reducing or increasing? It is reducing. So pi 1 is reducing. So what will happen to cos pi 1? Increasing. So answer please. Then primary power factor increases. So don't stop with this only, because in lead loads some specialties. Try to observe here. Suppose if I reduce say cos pi 2 to some extent, so pi I2 vector is coming here, I2 dash is coming here, I1 is coming here, that is okay. Okay, suppose if you reduce cos pi 2 once again, so once again this I2 will come somewhere here, so this I2 dash will come somewhere here, this I1 will come somewhere here. Yes or no? At one particular instant, this I1 will be in phase with the what? It is I1 is in phase with what? V1. Okay, so whenever I1 is coming and is in phase with V1, after that also, if you are still reducing cos pi 2, that means if you are increasing pi 2 still, that means if you are reducing pi 2 still means your pi 2 will come somewhere this side. So here I2 dash will come somewhere this side. Okay, this I1 vector will come somewhat this side. That means it crossed V1. See, initially green color, blue color, black color, green color, blue color, black color, green, blue, black. That means I1 is coming towards V1 up to up to some variation. If you reduce cos phi 2 a lot, pi 2 increases a lot, pi 1 reduces cos phi 1 increase, that is okay. Suppose if you reduce cos phi 2 a lot, there are chances that I1 will cross your V1. I1 will cross V1. I1 will cross V1. Suppose if you are still reducing cos phi 2, so once again this vector, this from this side, I1 is coming this side. That means see, between V1 and I1, from here to here, angle is reducing. Pi 1 is reducing, cos phi 1 is increasing, that is okay. Suppose after crossing this point, after crossing this V1 vector, if you are still reducing cos phi 2, there are chances that your I1 will angle between I1 and V1, it starts increase. It starts increasing. Whenever pi 1 is increasing, just like previous note 2, okay, just whenever pi 1 is increasing, there are chance of getting a primary power factor reduction. Is it clear? So answer for this question, if you take say lead loads, so for a transformer having lead loads, if secondary power factor reduces, then primary power factor increases or reduces. It depends on variation of cos phi 2, how much you are varying cos phi 2. Suppose if you are varying cos phi 2 a little, that means you are reducing cos phi 2, little. That means pi 2 is increasing little. So definitely I1 is coming this side. So angle between V1 and I1 is reducing. Pi 1 is reducing, cos phi 1 increases. That's okay. Suppose if you reduce cos phi 2 a lot, if I1 crosses V1, vector, if you are still reducing cos phi 2, there are chances that angle between I1 and V1 will start increasing now. Pi 1 will increase. Therefore, cos phi 1 will reduce. Therefore, answer increases or reduces depending how much variation you are doing to cos phi 2. Okay, depending on your variation, your answer may be increases or reduces. So, simply remember guys, for lead loads, if secondary power factor reduces, then primary power factor increases or reduces.